You went to that residence to deliver a package?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then what happened?
When I was trying to get myself situated to where, I have an easy way to get out of the property, I kind of backed up and hit her.
Okay, and then what happened?
She seemed like she wasn't too incredibly hurt, but it was a panic.
Okay.
And I didn't know what to do. My main fear was I could lose my job, lose my source of income, the way, everything was on the line. I didn't know what to do.
Okay. So then what did you do, look her up in the truck?
I listened to this dumb little voice in my head that told me, just grab her and go, and I did.
Okay. So you said you didn't hurt her too bad, you just kind of bumped her, or?
I mean, she had some bruises.
Okay. So she's still talking to you and everything, what'd she say?
She was worried that I was a kidnapper.
And what'd you tell her?
I told her no. She kept asking where we were going. I didn't know what to tell her, so I would just talk to her about random things.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
Okay. It's okay. So you didn't what?
She was a sweet kid.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you were in fear of, hey, I'm gonna get in trouble for hitting her with my truck. That was your biggest fear. Okay, then what happened?
I was driving around for a bit just trying to figure out what I was going to do about the situation.
And what's she doing?
Asking questions, we're just talking at this point.
Yeah, is she sitting down? Is she standing up? Is she in the passenger seat? Where's she at?
She's standing up, she's in the back.
Okay. What's she asking?
Just random things, like, I just had her talking.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I don't know.
And then where'd you go?
We went down this private road and I listened to that little voice again.
What did it tell you this time? You remember what it told you?
I heard it.
200. And you listened. Then how'd you heard it? It's okay. It's alright. It's alright. How'd you heard it?
No, it's not alright.
Well, no, it's alright to tell me. It's okay to tell me. You gotta get it off your chest. How'd you hear it? It's alright. You gotta tell me, you gotta get it off your chest, okay?
Listen again.
Okay. If you don't want to talk about how you heard her in detail, just
I
shut it.
heard it.
And then let's talk about how she ended up after you heard her. Where did you take her?
Sat on the private road trying to figure out what I was going to do from that point. I didn't know what I was going to do. So I just started heading back to the station.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was driving back to the station, I saw the bamboo and tossed somebody in there.
Okay. Obviously, if you tossed her there, we're going to find her. So was she fully clothed? And you mentioned she didn't have any shoes on.
No, she didn't have shoes.
Okay. Wearing socks, barefooted?
Socks.
Okay. You remember what clothes she was wearing?
I mean, I think like shorts or jeans or something.
Okay.
There was a lot going on through my head at the time, but I didn't.
Is there any voices telling you anything at that time after you, just to get her out of the truck or anything like that, or was that just kind of a decision you made?
I just tossed her in. Like I couldn't just keep running around with a kid in the back like that. I just was relatively sure.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't check her heartbeat or anything, but I'm relatively sure that she wasn't alive.
Okay. So, let's backtrack a little bit, okay? To that private road that you went down. And when the voice is telling you to hurt her, or how did it start? Did you say anything to her? Did you explain that you had to do what you had to do? I mean, can you give me something on that?
I just told her to turn around and
You choked her? One hand or two hands? Two. Like, was she facing away from you where you were choking her?
and started off, I tried to
Oh, you tried to break her neck?
I tried to break her neck, make it as quick and painless as possible, but it didn't work. She started crying. I'm trying to calm down. I'm trying to calm down.
It's all right. Hey, listen to what I tell you earlier, right? A lot of the time we get too fixated on what, right? On what happened. So now we know a little bit of what happened, right? We know that you hit her, bumped her with the truck. You got scared, right? She not telling you. So you got her in the truck. When you got her in the truck, let's talk about that. Did you just pick her up into the truck, or did you ask her to get in?
I asked her to get in.
Okay, so she listened to you, got in the truck, and then you drive from your route immediately, start kind of headed back to the station, right?
No. After that, that's when we went down the private road because I was trying to figure out what I was going to do.
Okay. What do you think the time frame was from there? Like,
I don't know.
not very long, like 5, 10 minutes, 30 minutes?
I wouldn't know how to.
Okay. But don't worry, we're not going to get
Unless I'm like sitting there looking at the time, I have no idea how much time has passed.
Okay, so.
I don't even know how long it's been since you guys stopped me after that delivery.
Yeah, okay, so your perception of time is not too good. So you get in the truck, she's standing up talking to you. You are driving down the private road, and that's when the voice tells you, hey, you need to hurry her, you need to get rid of her, right? Am I right? Correct me if I'm missing something. And then you ask her to face away from you, and you try to break her neck at first, but she started crying. When you said try to break her neck, did you like try to spin it? How did you do that?
Try to spin it.
Like spin like one hand on the chin, one hand on top of the head, hand on the side of the head, or how?
Like,
Okay, and that didn't work?
yes, sir.
Okay. But she was facing away from you when you did that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then,
I didn't want her to see it coming. I didn't.
okay. So then,
I couldn't take it if she was sitting there in pain. I wanted to do it as quick as possible, and it didn't work. And sorry.
yeah, and now, we accomplished that, trying to find out where she's at, right? We haven't found her yet, or that I know of, so now we're going to get into some of that why. Why did you mainly hurt her because you didn't want to get in trouble for hitting her with FedEx, or legally, or what?
Essentially, just panicking. I didn't know what to do, and then it almost seems like it was a dream. For the most part, it just kind of seems like I wasn't, you know what I mean? Seems like I wasn't behind the wheel at the time.
Out of body experience, so to speak.
Almost.
Okay.
Almost. Like, stuff like that's happened my entire life, where like I'll have these like out of body experiences. Mostly when I'm like getting in a fight with someone or something like that. But sometimes I'll kind of like phase out and not know what's going on. Other times I'll just kind of be in the back seat almost.
When you were talking to her, did she tell you her name?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Athena.
Okay. Did she take her full name, or did she just know her first name? Did she take her last name or anything?
No, she didn't tell me her last name,
So she just told you her name was Athena?
which I actually thought that was pretty cool because, you know, I like mythology and stuff like that.
Yep. So let's go back to, I know you don't want to, you know, you have a hard time, rightfully so, you know, kind of recalling a little bit, but, and I'm going to go back and touch on it a little bit. And you try to break her neck, she starts crying. When you start choking her, facing away from you, like you stated earlier, how long did it take her to essentially pass out or stop crying? Was it long, or was it a short period of time? How long do you think?
It was probably about a minute, but it felt like so much longer.
And then she just stopped moving, went limp. I mean, were you all on the ground, or was she standing up still? Was she standing up when you were doing it, or did she, obviously at some point when she passes out or whatever, you had to come to the ground?
She started off standing and then kind of after a while just went down.
Okay. Okay. And then did she move at all after that?
No, sir.
Okay.
That's when I started heading towards that, I guess, it's a county road, the one right across from 2123, and that's when I threw her in the bush.
Okay. Now, what was that little voice specifically telling you? Do you remember?
That we needed to stop her from pretty much telling anybody.
Okay. So that was the main concern. That's the whole reason why.
Everything was at risk. My job, my family, everything.